Well, Ben, back when we were in school, did you ever think we'd be here, around this table at the Bible department, sipping some coffee?
No, Mel, I didn't. But when we were students, they didn't have coffee. Just gave us water.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and water in a cracked glass.
They never used to give us a glass. We had to drink from a rolled up newspaper.
Newspaper would have been wonderful. They just let us lick a damp cloth once a day. You know, we were happy, even though school was tough.
But we were happy that it was tough. There was none of the slogan of higher learning, higher calling. It was no pain, no gain. And we had that slogan on big posters on both of the trees, and it was stenciled on the side of the president's car.
Well, back when we were students, if you got sick and missed class, you had to write on the board 1,000 times, "I will not get sick again."
Yeah, we didn't have this fancy schmancy chapel either with padded seats and PowerPoint. We sat outside on rocks, whether it was raining or snowing. Oh, and if anybody wanted to project anything, we'd grab a couple freshmen, light them on fire, and use shadow puppets up on the wall.
And how about the dating rules? Remember those? I mean, they wouldn't even allow us guys to sit on the same chair a woman had sat on, at least as long as it was still warm.
That's right. And remember spring sing. Well, in our day, we didn't have any of this jumping and twirling and singing about. We didn't have any of that. We were chased across the stage with a 20-pound ball and chain strapped to our ankles by the dean of students, who would whip us with a wet, sharp thorn bush until we were bloody and half conscious. And we loved it.
In my day, curfew was so strict that you had to get special permission to leave your room just to go eat supper.
Boy, are you lucky. At least you had a room. When I was a student, I had to share half a room with 12 guys. And they lived on a diet of Brussels sprouts and beans.
Boy, half a dorm room would have been heaven. Me and my 24 roommates had to live in the hallway. And we were happy together.
We used to dream of living in a hallway. Would have been a palace to us. My first 6 weeks, they moved us and my 120 roommates into a shoebox in the middle of the street.
A shoebox? We were kicked out of our shoebox and had to go live out in the OC pond.
Good times.
You were lucky. We lived for 3 months in a paper bag in the toilet bowl. And we used to have to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and clean the bag, and then we could get our stale crust of bread for breakfast. And after we ate our stale crust of bread with no water and no coffee, then we could go to our 8 hours of classes and do our 12 hours of homework. And the teachers would never give us anything more than a C. And then when we'd get home at night, then our RA would beat us around the head with a stick until we finally went to sleep.
Big deal. We used to have to get out of the pond at 3 in the morning, clean the pond, eat a handful of hot dirt, then do 10 hours of class, 15 hours of homework, and we'd get a D. And when we got back home, the RA would beat us around the head and neck with a broken bottle, if we were lucky.
Paradise. We used to have to get out of the shoebox at 12 o'clock at night and lick the road clean with our tongues. Then we would eat a half a handful of freezing cold rocks. And we go to class, 15 hours of classes every day, 20 hours of homework every day, never get more than a D minus. And then when we would come home, our RA would cut us in half with a plastic knife.
Fine. I had to get up in the morning at 10 o'clock at night, half an hour before I went to bed. Then I'd eat a bowl of cold razor blades, do 20 hours of classes, 30 hours of homework, and on each page of my homework, I had to write an F myself. Then when we'd get home, our RA would kill us and dance on our grave shouting, "Hallelujah!"
You try to tell that to kids these days, and they will never believe you.
Whenever you're ready. Hey, our first outtake!
Sitting here at the Bible department. Well, now you guys, too much murmuring.
But we were happy that it was tough. None of this slogan of no, oh, I messed up.
It's a simple line. Stay with the line.
There was none of this higher learning, higher calling stuff. Our slogan was no gain, no pain. And we had it on...
No pain, no gain. No pain. The pain comes before the gain. Then to cross the stage by the dean of students with a wet thorn bush beating us across the backs, and I forgot my line.
When I was a student, I had to share half a dorm room with 12 students, or 12 guys.
12 hours of homework. And if we came home at night, then our RA would...
He was doing so well! He was doing so well! Dang it!
Clean the pond. And then our RA would beat us up with a hot
Hot beer bottle.
We used to have to get up and out of the pond, eat a handful of hot dirt, go.
I was in the line. I can't remember. How far can I go? I get to see. Maybe